first guest tonight is a musical legend, a 20-time Grammy Award winner, an Academy Award winner, a Tony Award winner, and a member of both the Songwriters Hall of Fame and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. His new album, Only the Strong Survive, is available now. Please welcome to the show, the boss, Bruce Springsteen, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Last time I saw you was backstage at your Broadway show, which was fantastic. Was that something, looking back at it, can you believe now you did it? Was that ever something you thought you were going to do?
We did 236 of them. So it took 14 months, did about 5 days, 5 nights a week. And I loved every night of it, you know. It wasn't something I thought I'd do because it happened by accident. You know, I was 2 weeks before President Obama was leaving the White House, he asked me to come down and play. So I said, well, I don't want to bring the band, too much noise. I'll go down by myself with my acoustic guitar and I'll read something from my book and I'll sing a song. So I spent a couple hours in my studio and I worked up about 90 minutes or something. I went down and I played in the East Room and to just a couple hundred people. But it was basically 90 minutes of the Broadway play, you know? And so he came up to me afterwards and he said, gee, you know, I'm glad you did that for us, but that should be a show. So I said, it's good presidential advice, you know?
And is it true he takes a cut? He took a 15%.
That unfortunately was true. That's true.
I don't know if you remember this, but we were lucky enough. I brought my mom to see the show, and we went backstage, and you were being very gracious with your time. And I was very cognizant of the fact that you're a busy guy. And wonderfully, Patty stepped in and said, before they leave, Bruce, you got to take a picture with Seth's mom. And this photo is celebrated in our house.
She looks great.
She looks wonderful, doesn't she?
Fabulous.
The thing, the joke my brother and I always say is we've never seen her look that happy in a picture with our dad. I've never seen a photo of her where her eyes aren't rolling. This album, these are obviously soul songs that mean something to you.
Yeah, it was just a lot of stuff that I liked, and it was during the lockdown, so I'd made a couple of records, made a record called Western Stars, and I made a film with it, made a record called Letter to You with the E Street Band, and I made a film with that because you couldn't go out on the road. So, still sitting there with no schedule in front of me, so I said, well, I'd like to, let me do something I've never done before. Let me do something that's centered on my voice and just singing. One of the greatest vocal music, in my opinion, of all time is gospel music and then soul music. All the singers came from the church. So I just dug into my collection of my favorite singers, Jerry Butler and David Ruffin from The Temptations, Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops, William Bell, and I just started to go through music that I found that I had a good range for and fit my voice pretty well. And I made one record, I threw it out, and then I finally focused on the soul, the idea of making a cohesive soul music record. And so that's what we did. I did it for myself. It was a lot of fun. I hope people enjoy it.
There's a great Sam Moore from Sam and Dave is on a couple of the songs. I know you've sung with him in the past, on stage, in concert. You know, you've sort of given this gift to people. You know, you did a song with Jack Antonoff. Obviously, you mean a lot to him. He gets to sing with you. What's it like for you when you get to sing with somebody who obviously meant a lot to you in your early days?
Well, Sam and Dave were gigantic in my musical development because what most people don't understand, Sam Moore was an incredible band leader. And I used to go see Sam and Dave when they played the Satellite Lounge in Fort Dix, New Jersey, the Fast Lane in Asbury Park. These are 200, 300 seat clubs. And this was in the late 70s, they were not, I don't know if Sam was speaking to Dave at the time. They weren't getting along, but they were still incredible, you know? It was so incredible that one night I stood in the back of a tiny club that was only half full, and I knew I was seeing some of the greatest music in the United States that very moment. And I just cried, you know, that just over how good they were, just because they were so good. And so I've known Sam for about 30 years, and we've sung together on a few things. And he's a great guy, and probably our greatest living soul singer right now.
And is it a quick yes when you call up Sam and say, do you want to be on the new album?
Yeah, Sam's game to sing. He still loves singing. He's 86, but he still loves to sing.
You wouldn't guess 86 when you listen to it.
No, he's got his voice is sustained beautifully, so he's wonderful.
And you're going back on tour as well?
E Street Band.
E Street Band.
Coming back on the road.
Unbelievable.
February 1st.
Now, are you... I'm always, every time I've been lucky enough to see you live, I cannot believe the energy that goes into that show, not just from you, but from the entire E Street Band. When you have February 1st in the future, are you already thinking about it? Are you thinking, like, we got to get into show shape right now? Yeah.
It's, the thing with show shape is almost no matter what you do, you are still going to wake up the next morning after that first show feeling like you've been beat with a baseball bat. Every single thing is going to hurt you. Every muscle and bone in your body, your voice is going to feel like it will never sing again. And then you play the second night, it's not so bad. By the time
you got to just stick with it, right?
Yeah, by the time you're 3 or 4 nights in, your body adapts and you get used to being constantly tired because you are. And so I lived with fatigue for about 1.5 years. Your immune system drops, so you got to get used to getting a little more regularly sick just because of the degree that you're pushing your body. But it's still the greatest thing in the world.
Obviously, it sounds like you stayed busy and you realized that, there was an opportunity with the pandemic to do other things. But I imagine from you, the entire E Street Band, from top to bottom, everybody must be just so excited to be here.
Well, we've been 6 years, so it's a long time.
Yeah.
And, it takes us 2 seconds to come back with each other. But yeah, we've been off for a long time, so looking forward to it.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, but you don't know this either, but I do want to tell you something, one more thing about my mom, which is our first dance, not our first dance, but the mother-son dance at our wedding, she always wanted to do, she wanted us to dance to a Bruce Springsteen song, and so the band had to learn it, and the song was For You from Asbury, from your first album. And my wife pointed out, that's a crazy song, that your mom wanted you to sing a song where the lyrics are, I came for you, for you. She's like, why would you do that on a day where you're seriously here for me? She goes, I think this is a very aggressive song for your mom to have picked.
Now, get this, I'm the guy that wrote it. So I know exactly what you're talking about, It's got, it's a strange song. I don't know what it means. It sounds suicidal to me, but and it's a very unusual song for the wedding and the son-mother dance. But God bless.
You know what? She thinks outside the box, Bruce. I don't know what to tell you. I got more to ask. We'll be right back with more from Bruce Springsteen.